My name is Aryo Toh Djojo. I am an artist based out of LA. Most of the work that I do is primarily with the airbrush. A lot of it deals with our relationship to UFOs, and a lot of it is based off the mundane aspects of life. The show is called Lost in Space and consists of 8 rebuses that I've made up. The rebuses are inspired by a lot of artists that I grew up looking at. There's a few that are referencing skateboarding. The others are just random phrases that I kind of picked out. Coming into the show, if you don't know that they're rebuses, they are kind of confusing. I was doing rebuses while I was in art school, and I wanted to revisit that. For example, the kickflip tail slide. That was an early one that I did in art school, and all I did was find different images to make up the kickflip tail slide. And the kickflip tail slide is a skateboard trick. I wanted the show to be a little more conceptual, not just painting, but like this idea that there was this other thing that the viewer can engage with and be a little more critical in terms of what is in front of them. I like that idea of using images that weren't mine and kind of making a new kind of narrative. There are 2 artists within the show that I turned into rebuses who I was inspired by that were part of the pictures generation. Appropriation was kind of part of their thing. So a lot of the paintings are appropriated. Found imagery from Instagram or Google Images or friends, sending me images. I had to make up rebuses for the earlier works. And so for those, it's harder to decipher because they're not so concrete. The one that is a little bit harder to decipher is the one of the painting with the laser from the UFO, the woman who's coming out of water into a forest, and then the city scene of LA. I like the immediacy with the airbrush. I mean, it dries really quick when it's on the canvas. I like the challenge that it comes with because I'm not touching the surface. The challenge to me is almost like the same with skateboarding. There's this weird similarity. You really have to connect with the tool. You also really need to focus, especially the way that I paint. The paintings that I make are done free-handed. I don't use masking tape or stencils, so it's very difficult to make straight lines. So when I first started making these, I didn't know that they were going to be this way. I was just making it for fun until now, after maybe 100 paintings of these, I kind of use that idea of the blurred aspect being like this memory that we have, that we can't quite pinpoint, but they're there. There isn't really a narrative within, each rebus. And so coming in, the viewer might think that there is a narrative and maybe will come up with their own narratives. I mean, the show is titled Lost in Space. If you came in not knowing that you were coming into a rebus show, you are kind of a little lost in this space.